like to call the meeting to order tonight. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with Chapter 231, Public Law, 1975.
At this time, we'd like to have a moment of silence. Christina, would you do the flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Commissioner Capizola.
Here.
Commissioner Garcia-Balicki. Here. Commissioner Alstino.
Here.
Commissioner Sorrow.
Here.
Commissioner Romero.
Here.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Here.
Director Taylor.
Present. At this time, we're going to have a presentation by Matt Pizarski, Director of Planning and Tourism and Community Affairs.
Good evening, Commissioners. I was asked to give kind of an update on the park efforts throughout the county, and so I just wanted to, we do have some new commissioners this year, so I want to make sure everyone's up to date on how this has been going. So if we go back to 2011, a open space recreation master plan was completed. At that time, the trust, the Open Space Farmland Trust, had been used exclusively for farmland preservation. And around 2011, there was growing interest in using it or having it used for recreational and open space. So the the county commissioned this study, which created criteria for evaluation for the county to participate in acquisitions of environmental and recreational open space. And that resulted in a variety of cost share projects with municipalities and nonprofits from that time to the present, including Barrett's Run Park in Hopewell, Sunset Lake in Upper Deerfield, several projects in Vineland around the Menantico Preserve. And those ran from 2013. The most recent one closed last year. And this is a map from that study that shows the restrictions, the environmental restrictions in Cumberland County. You can see it's pretty extensive. We have quite a bit of open space when you calculate everything that state, municipal, county-owned, nonprofit-owned, and a variety of other programs, including, for instance, the Farmland Preservation Program, which you can see the parcels in Upper Deerfield are in gray. We updated these figures for 2026, so you can see to any extent it's even greater today than it was before. One of the things that I really noticed looking at those two maps is the progress that's been made on the farmland preservation side. So if you look at 2011 in Upper Deerfield and Hopewell area, and you look at 2026, there's quite a bit more preserved farmland today than there was in 2011. And then from that perspective, in 2024, the department completed a Mid-County and Fairgrounds Master Plan. This was part of, at that time, the county's efforts in expanding recreational opportunities throughout the county. Particularly on county-owned properties, and the Fairgrounds and Mid-County Park are both county-owned. And they've been owned since the 60s, but there was a particular interest after COVID to really work on taking a firm hand on providing recreational opportunities as much as possible. And this led to an interest in improving all the county-owned open space properties throughout the county, not just the Mid-County Park. And we'll go through what those properties are. But in that study in 2024, there were a series of recommendations made. There were 21 identified immediate recommendations, which were intended to be completed within 24 months of the completion of the study. and the estimated cost for those completions was nearly $3 million. And I'm happy to report that as of this week, and I have some images to show you, as of this week, over 85% of all of those immediate recommendations have been completed or are in construction right now. So that's a great accomplishment, and it meets the timeline that we set for ourselves. Just to go over what the county currently owns as far as park space, we have Giles Street Pocket Park in Bridgeton, the Potter's Tavern Pocket Park in Bridgeton, Cumberland County Mid-County Park and Fairgrounds, and the lawn space in front of the Cumberland County Library, which is Bridgeton Fairfield. We're going to go through these quickly just to talk about what we're doing with each of them. So the fairgrounds, over the last several years, we have made significant improvements to the fairgrounds. That includes the new entryway, the new fencing along the entryway facade, new PA system, new video surveillance system, significant electrical upgrades. Some of these images are to remind me what everything we've done. A new ticket booth, which is actually arriving on Thursday. So we'll be able to have an actual photo instead of the architect's rendering. And as of today, the grandstands are under construction. This was taken this morning. So they are out there constructing the new fully ADA accessible grandstands. And all of this effort by the commissioners in investment in recreation, particularly at the fairgrounds, has resulted in a considerable amount of increased activity. So far this year, and we've just started the bookings, we have scheduled the Lenny Lenape Powwow in June, the Friends of India Kite and Color Festival also in June, the Cumberland County Fair, which runs through July, the first week in July, second week in July, and a Hispanic Festival in August. We have a variety of departmental activities going on out there. We have a variety of 4-H horse events going on. So it's a very active place. And there's more bookings every year. One of the new activities is the Recreation and Parks and Recreation Day, which is scheduled for May 30th. That's being facilitated through the Recreation Department, the Recreation Commission. And I'll note Melissa Hempel is in the audience tonight. She's our Parks Coordinator in the department and runs the Rec Commission. And they've been super busy doing a variety of activities. This event is meant to advertise and promote all the recreational activities that are occurring throughout Cumberland County, leagues, sport events that kids can participate in. So there'll be sign-up tents and activities and samples and like the soccer club will show like how to hit a soccer ball and things like that. So it's going to attract a lot of kids, and this is the first year we're having this event. Cultural and Heritage is hosting a summer concert series in August. It's going to be the Wednesday evenings in August out at the fairgrounds. So more details on that as they book the bands. And then just to go through some of the properties that currently are owned by the county. So you have Giles Street Park, which is a tiny little pocket park on Vine and Giles and Bridgeton. Underutilized up until last year when the commissioners in the county received grant funding to develop jungle gym, swing sets, a little soccer practice area. It's a really cute little park that's been developed there. Potter's Tavern Pocket Park. Last month, the architect was secured for a grant-funded feasibility design process to reimagine the pocket park around Potter's Tavern across from the courthouse in Bridgeton, which is currently not ADA accessible, to make it fully accessible and to develop it as a anchor attraction for tourism. We are in the process of designing the all-inclusive playground at the lawn in front of the county library. This is an initial example of one of the possible versions of it from the architect working on that. And in fact, we have the initial public input meeting for the design of the playground scheduled for Wednesday, March 25th at the library. So if you're around, come out and participate in that design charrette. Last night, we had the initial public input meeting on the Cohansey Green Corridor Study, which would be a trail development running from Fairfield up through the city of Bridgeton along the Cohansey River, through the Bridgeton City Park System around Mary Elmer Lake, and coming all the way around to the Hopewell Business District and the Amish Market. And we had over 30 attendees at the outreach and input meeting last night, where the architect provided a variety of designs and considerations for the public to provide input. We're really excited about that project. We are also working on the Cumberland County Mid-County Park Trail development. These are 2 parcels across the street on Marias Avenue from the fairgrounds. We have grant funding secured for trail development on that. This is the most delayed project because, as most of you know, there was contaminant found on the site, which has to be mitigated. We are nearing completion on that process, and so we can begin the design of the trail system in the next month or so. And then moving forward, the Farmland and Open Space Trust, based on the language in the original referendum question, can only be used for land acquisition. So as we move forward and look at amenity needs and recreational opportunities throughout the county will be looking at how to expand the county park system, what areas to consider for potentially new parks or new open space opportunities. And then as a department, we'll be working on continually updating the planning process related to parks, because it's ever changing. The master plan that was done 2 years ago now needs to be updated because we've completed everything that was in the immediate recommendations. So we need to start looking at what we want to do next out there. So it's a continual process with a lot of public input. And so that's it in a nutshell.
Thank you, Matt. It's a wonderful job. Really appreciate the update.
Thank you.
Next, we'll be receiving a presentation from the Delaware Bay Shellfish Council.
I just have to do the tech. Should be good to go here. All right, there you go. Thank you. You're just going to move forward by pushing this key. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Barney Hollinger. I'm the chair of the Delaware Bay Shellfish Council and an industry member.
Steve Fleetwood, I'm vice chair, industry member, and been participant for most of my life.
Yeah, I'm Scott Shepard. I'm also a councilman on the Delaware Bay Shellfisheries Council, and I've been an oyster fisherman my whole life.
So one of the things we're here for tonight is to tell you about our industry, which we've talked to some commissioners. Nobody seems to know we exist. We've been around for, this says 160 years. We haven't been in it that long, but fishery's been there for that long. It was just different. Years ago, we used to actually go up the bay, pick the oysters up, bring them down, put them on our own leases. Diseases stopped that. MSX in 1957 hit, pretty much wiped everything out. They slowly made a comeback. In 1990, another disease called dermo hit. that really wiped us out and started us to look at how we run this business. What we were able to do was get DEP to work with us. We changed the way that we catch the oysters. Instead of picking them up and bringing them down, now we do what's called direct market harvest off the seed beds, which are, majority of the oyster industry is in Cumberland County. We're a $40 million industry for Cumberland County. All the oysters are landed in Cumberland County, up in Coney Island and down township. They're brought down to Port Norris, where they're either Steve has Bible packing, so they box them and ship them out. There is Bobby Robbins, who ships them down to, most of them go to Virginia. And then there's Harbor House, which is stationed in Delaware but owns boats, and a shucking house in Port Norris, which a lot of people don't realize. If you want to get shucked oysters, or if you want to get oysters in the half shell, any one of us can provide that for you. I mean, the industry is here. So what happened during COVID? COVID hit, as everybody knows, and expenses just doubled and tripled. At the same time, we got hit with low quotas, which is where we set our quotas are set through a process that involves DEP, the industry, and Rutgers University. And we rely on Mother Nature to provide us what we call a set. The oysters spawn, they go back and forth in the bay, and they finally settle. So we've had low recruitment of SPAC in the last few years. And as part of that is that our quotas have went lower. I mean, there was a time that we self-impose a $2 tax on every bushel of oysters that we take out. It goes in a special fund that's in the DEP. We've even weathered governors trying to take our money, and they could not take it. It's so tied up. The only people that can spend it is us. We're the only ones that are allowed to say we're going to spend it, and this is how it's going to get spent. But what's happened is, because the quotas are low, so is our revenue is low. We started seeing this in the last couple of years. Our quotas are real low. DEP stepped in and helped us with shell planting, but the industry has to do what we call a transplant. That is one of the ways to enhance our industry. And so what we do is we go above the Cohansey River, and we send boats up there, which is right now is where all the oysters are setting. It seems like is up there. They're not down where we're at on our grounds that we harvest off of. So in order to do enhancement activities, which is what we do with shell planting, DEP put in $200,000 last year in shell planting. They're looking to do another $200,000. We have to pay for the transplant. So last year we moved one of the record numbers that we moved, but we're spending somewhere in the neighborhood of $270,000 to $320,000 a year to do this. It's costing us $3.25 a bushel to move them. At $2, we're just not generating enough fund. At one time, we had $1 million in our account, and that slowly went down.
When you say transplanting, is that the thing where they put them in the bags and then you guys set them out?
No,
Okay. Because I was an elementary school teacher, I teach middle school now, and I remember them dumping piles of shells at our students, putting them together. Does that have anything to do with you guys?
It's probably restoration.
It was a restoration
Project.
effort,
We
yeah.
don't do it anymore, but I remember we did it for like 4 or 5 years in a row.
We did it through the Bayshore Center.
Yes.
Yep, so they're still doing it.
They are doing it, okay,
They're
good.
doing it down there.
And we only have a few boats left that are capable of doing this transplant.
Right.
Okay.
We go up the bay, usually toward the end of April, and we deck load our boats. And there's basically only around 4 boats now that are still rigged up to be able to do that transplant. So, and just because of, the industry, participants not being able to make enough money through the years, in most cases, to maintain the big boats to do this job. So that's pretty much what's happened.
One thing I want to make point is the fund that's generated with our shell tax goes strictly back to the bay.
Right.
It's not used for anything else. It's only used for shell planting or transplanting, the self-imposed taxes we're talking about. It's not used for anything else.
Yeah. And the one thing we did do this year is we started a process to get the regulation changed, because that $2 is in statute, is in regulation, and we can only change that by getting the regulation changed, which is in the process right now. It's sitting on the governor's desk. We went to $4, $2 to $4, so we doubled what we're charging ourselves. So we're just waiting for her. It got stuck in she put a freeze on all regulations for 90 days, and we're stuck in there, and we've been working with our legislators on both sides to get her to release that. If that doesn't happen, then we're going to be stuck at $2 for the rest of this year.
And where else would you try to tax yourself more money and the governor won't sign it? Hopefully she will. And
She's not getting it.
But unless she signs it by tomorrow,
March 12th.
okay.
March 12th. so 2 days.
We can't use that money for this year.
Yeah.
So,
It's on her desk. We were told that it's sitting on her desk, being reviewed at this time.
we've done everything we could and talked to all our legislators and everything, and we haven't been able
We
to.
didn't have enough money last year in this
That's
account
true.
to
Right.
do this transplant. So we actually contacted each oyster participant to contribute the amount of money that was needed, plus the $2 that we spent for our tax, to make the transplant happen. We're looking at doing that again this year.
Right. We've already voted on that. Last Tuesday night, we had our meeting, we set our quota, and we did that. And we're gonna have to put more money into it. We have $108,000 in our account right now, and that will nowhere near come close to doing the transplant.
And
But this,
also, we had a contribution from Cape May County last year.
that was the other thing. Cape May County, some oystermen out of Cape May County went down, talked to the county commissioners, and they gave us $44,000 toward last year's. And they did it.
Mr. Hollinger, would you explain to the board how many licenses Cape May has versus Cumberland versus Salem? So when you talk about what Cape May gave to you guys, this board has a better understanding of the way the licenses are allocated in the county.
So there's 3 licenses in Salem County, there's 1 license in Gloucester County, there's around 20 licenses in Cape May, the rest of them are in Cumberland County, out of 80. The rest of them are in Cumberland County.
So we definitely have the lion's share of licenses.
Probably 50.
70-some% of the fisheries
70-some, yeah,
is all county,
is all people that live in the county.
live in this county.
So these are just a few slides we have. This is the way the shucking was done years ago. This is, we used to put, the state used to make us save the shells, and then we'd have to put them back overboard. Now this was done, we're talking 60, 70 years ago. That's where one of these pictures is from. That was the type of oyster boat. I don't know if you're familiar with the A.J. Meerwald, New Jersey's tall ship, who's in Port Norris. That's the way she was rigged when she was under sail. She was built in 1928. This is what we have today. This is the Peter Painter. This is one of Mr. Fleetwood's boats. And that boat is dredges in the industry, and this is doing transplanting right now. That's how she's rigged for transplanting.
She's 121 years old this year.
So management of the oyster is considered a model around the country. We're the only sustainable wild-caught oyster fishery in the United States. Nobody else comes close to what we do. We work together, commercial fishermen, Rutgers University, and regulators, and we bring in people from all over the country to sit on our panel, which we just got done in February. And we've been doing this for 28 years.
Yeah, close to 30 years.
28 years. This last one was the 28th one.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
So when you run the spat with baby oysters up the bay, you're running it for the state?
Well, it's an enhancement effort, yes, yes.
And we actually shifted, transplanted more oysters from up the bay where we can't harvest. That's prohibited waters. We moved them down onto enhanced areas where we worked, and we actually moved more oysters down and planted than we harvested.
Bushel-wise.
And one thing that we're doing is all the way up by the nuclear plant, there's 3 seed beds up there. In Hurricane Irene and Tropical Storm Lee, 99% of those oysters died. The fresh up, the water came down, and the salinity levels got down, and it killed them, almost every one of them up there. And it hurt the rest of them down the bay. So since that time, we've been making an effort to move those oysters, when we get a good set up the bay, to move those oysters out of there, because we know what's going to happen if we get tremendous rainfall. We don't even know what's going to happen now with all the snow we've had, the dam releases that are going to happen up in Pennsylvania, New York, if that's going to affect us at all. So we're doing a transplant this year from up in that area. So Rutgers leads the survey to contract commercial boats. They go out, and Shell Fisheries does disease studies. There's 34,000 acres up there divided into beds and regions. We do thermo monitoring. We do dockside monitoring to see what we're bringing in, what the size of them are, how many's alive, how many's dead. This is this year's quota that we're going to be working off of. As you see here, we have to move. The top one is very low mortality. That's up by the nuclear plant. We're moving 6,411,000 bushel. You come down, oysters. Yeah, it's 612 bushel.
Deck bushels
Deck bushels.
is what will go on the boat as far as estimated bushels.
So the low mortality is off of Greenwich. It's up in that area. Shiloh, not Shiloh, but up in the Greenwich area. Stowe Creek, up in that one. And the medium mortality transplant is right up off of the ship John Light in there. So that's the number of removals we're going to be trying to move this year. And then down, if you get the next slide, or underneath of it, shows how many markets, abundance of size oysters, which is 2.5 and up, how many removals, how many oysters per bushel, and the quotas per bushel for each person.
Does that show the percentage of what we harvest as to what is on the beds there?
No.
I don't know that.
So one of the enhancement efforts is shell planning, which that's running around $60-some thousand. Each barge that we put up there, the barge holds around 20,000 bushel. There's a clam house in Port Norris at the end of the road, Surfside. They sell us the shell. They're selling us or the state. Then there's a contract with North Star Marine, which is based over in Leesburg. The oysters are then loaded on down at the clam house, and they're taken up and they're blowed overboard up in the Bay Area, different regions. The DEP looks and sees which ones they think we need to enhance. Transplanting is done by the industry, so we're told how many we can take. The boats go up. There's 4 boats. I think they work almost 15 days to move this material. And that's the large-scale shell plants, oyster bed enhancement. That's what one barge load of shell, that's $66,000 sitting right there. That includes the transportation, blowing them overboard, and the shell itself. And that's spat. That's a little oyster that's growing inside one of the shells that we plant. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 of them in there. All of them won't live. Maybe half of them will die, half of them will live. But that's what we try to do, and that's the only thing that keeps the industry running, between transplants and shell plants. That's what see when you get a bunch of oysters come up, that's all these oysters on one shell, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, so, can't hardly read it, but down there in the bottom right-hand corner, it says, bang for the buck, number 2 is impressive, $40 return for every dollar we spend, we get a $40 return on our money. This was verified by Dr. Powell, who used to run the shelf lab down in Blytheville. And that's what he calculated that we do for the industry.
That's a cumulative return, right?
That's a cumulative
For the
return.
entire industry, for the community and.
Right.
That's the industry-wide.
That's economic
An
benefit.
economic multiplier.
Yeah.
So we contract with commercial oyster boats in order to do the transplants. We're paid through the Oyster Resource Development Account, which is the one that we self-fund. Also, Cape May County funded it last year. Increases usable quota and/or enhance the oyster beds. So when we get an initial quota, when we do a transplant, we're allowed to go a little higher. And then once the numbers are looked at as what the transplant did, there's market oysters in there, and those market oysters are added to our quota. So we've got 3 different levels of quota that we end up with at the end of the year. That's just a picture of New Jersey showing the bay down at the bottom. That's where most of this work is done. So the blue down the bottom is the market beds. The greenish hash lines up top are the transplant beds, and you can see they go all the way up into Salem County. That's another one of our boats. That's the CJ Peterson, owned by Timmy Reeves, with the Reeves with Harbor House. That's what they're doing. They're transplanting. It's just a different kind of rig that's on there. Most of them, that's a boom rig. Most of them are dumper door rigs on the boats. That's another Harbor House boat doing the same thing, transplanting. See, she's got the dumper doors on the side with the dredges to pull up. Each one of those boats holds somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 bushel. Here's another one. This is the painter again, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So here's our investment. For every dollar invested in the transplant, the industry sees an average return of $13 on every dollar we spend doing the transplants. So here's just the 2026, this year expected to move 115,000 bushel or 55 million oysters. This could cause a quota increase of around 28,400 bushels or an extra 355 bushels per license. The increase from the transplant alone could mean 1.5 million ex-vessel cost to the community. Most states rely on federal funding. We don't get none. Let's take that back. 1 year, we had $10 million that came through the Army Corps of Engineers. 5 million of it, Lou Biondo was here at the time, and I'm trying to think who was over in Delaware at the time. Carper was over in Delaware. So we split the 5 million between each state. So we had $5 million to spend here. We also had to do outreach and everything so that PDE, which is based out of Delaware, the Estuary Enhancement Program, they handled that side of it. And then along with Rutgers and the DEP, we planted a lot of shell that year. And we saw that, saw an uptick for the next 5 to 7 years.
Long time.
We could see that just kept reproducing. Federal grants for fisheries are usually associated with a natural disaster. North Carolina has a large yearly item in their budget with about $1.2 million a year. Maryland outshines us all. They get state funds, they get federal funds, goes through the Chesapeake Bay, or Chesapeake,
Chesapeake Bay Foundation.
Chesapeake Bay Foundation. And the money goes into them, they go back out, they do shell plantings, they do spat on shell, which they have hatcheries that puts oyster larvae in a tank, it sets on the shells, they pick them out, they take them and they put them overboard. They are actually taking the majority of the clam shells that's landed here in New Jersey and shucked by our plants. They're buying them all.
Mav, ask a question, Reverend? Right. Okay, there has to be a difference. There's got to be a reason why. Maryland can get federal funds and we can't. So my question is, are we doing something wrong? Is it that they do something that we don't do? That they're allowed to get that money? My question is, why can't we get federal funds?
Jim, have you ever seen us in here before? We've never went anywhere before. We've never asked for anything.
Okay.
And that's why. Them guys down there, they're steady. I mean, they get tens of millions of dollars a year.
So what do we have to do to make the difference?
Well, that's why we're here. We're trying to figure that out.
We're just
Okay.
trying to scratch enough to get through another
So
year.
in other words, what we need to do is find out federally why or what we have to do to get some federal money. Is that correct?
One of the things I think, and somebody else has told me the same thing, we don't have we have very few towns on the bay. You go to Delaware, Eastern Shore, Western side, they're lined with marinas.
Well,
they're lined
let's
with
face it, you're not going to get money if you don't apply. Okay, so what we got to do is find out what grants are out there, especially with the feds, okay, and what do we need to apply, and what information they need to know that we need this kind of money, I guess is what I'm getting at. Am I correct?
Right.
Sure.
Okay, and that's one of the things we'll work on. If that's okay, Mr. Director?
Well, currently, we're working on USDA funding, but it's not going to come in time for this
Right.
harvest. So, we've begun the process to start working on other avenues to help these guys get some funding. But, I'm sure there's other avenues.
Well,
we
I'm
can take
sure
to
that,
help you.
what we gotta do is find out what Maryland is doing and what grants they're going after, and if you don't reinvent the wheel, let's just get the wheel and put it on our side. That's what I'm getting at.
I don't know that it's grants. I think their politicians are, I think that's a big part of what's happening down there, really. There's a lot of clout down there. And evidently, I remember when I was young, starting in the oyster business, going to Trenton with some of the guys down in Port Norris, and we walked through the daggone building up there, and we walked in anybody's office, and nobody told us, you can't come in here, he's busy. We walked in there. They had the old timers down there had some clout. And we've just never been recognized. We've never went anywhere. We've never talked to anybody. We've never done anything.
Okay, let's go by what you're saying. You can't be recognized if they don't even know you're here. So what we gotta do, one of the things we have to do is we have to do a public relations thing with the government, the federal government. So if we can get something going yearly instead of dying over it, is what I'm getting at. All right.
Also,
Thank you, Director.
would you,
And one other thing before you guys leave, I just sent a text message to just somebody in the governor's office. I know we're under the gun a little bit. You said it has to be done by tomorrow,
March 12th.
March 12th.
I've been, just so you know, Commissioner, I've been in touch with the governor's office, and we
Okay,
are
good.
working with Carter Elliott. I'm
Okay.
not sure if that's who you
Well, the
want.
squeaky wheel gets the oil, so we'll hit
Yes,
it
I
from all
agree.
different
No,
ends,
no,
and we'll
I'm
see if
glad-
we can help out and get that done.
How you doing that? I'm just trying to bring you up to speed. Carter did call me on Saturday, and I
Good.
tried to give him like a 5-minute presentation, but he really needs to see this presentation so that they have a thorough understanding. And but anyway,
We'll connect, I just contacted him, I'll connect you guys with them, and then you guys gotta sell yourself, and
Okay.
then hopefully it works out.
Yeah. The other thing is, we're open to anything you can, if you can give us anything. Cape May County has said if Cumberland County will step up this year, we'll match whatever Cumberland County gives you. Cape May County said they'll give us whatever you'll give us.
it'd be a huge help.
I do have another question. When we talk about jobs, I would assume this is for the state?
That's the state number, yeah.
So what do we think that we're employing in Cumberland County?
The oyster fishery?
Yes.
How many do you think you got? Each boat carries at least four people,
4 or 5.
4 or 5, not including the captain, so that probably makes 6.
I would say directly, probably 60 or 70 maybe directly, and certainly a lot more
Just on the boats?
indirectly with our,
No, also count the shucking houses,
Drivers.
those types of things. You have to include that, okay?
boat yards.
So what I'm getting at is, when the director's asking how many people, well, okay, we're not just talking about the boat, because if you don't bring them in, then this person's out of a job, that's the person out of a job. So
Absolutely.
if there's a way that you can get us that number also.
Also, the Rutgers Research Lab.
Correct,
There's-
okay.
There's plenty of folks down there.
Several people
Right.
dedicated to that.
This all helps you out, when the higher your numbers are with these things, the more it entices people to do something, okay? So, you say, oh, well, 60 people, but we're only talking about the boat. Yeah, I've been to those houses, and I've been to those houses, and I've seen how many people work in those houses, so I was there. So what I'm getting at is there are people you gotta count also, plus you gotta get that to market, you got truckers, okay? So that's gonna affect their business. This is, it's a numbers game, okay?
Sure.
And politicians want to hear numbers. They love numbers, right? The higher the number, the more money. Lower the number, you're not worth it.
Right.
So what I'm saying to you is this is some of the stuff that we need in order to help you out.
Well, this is how it is now. I mean, it's been way higher in the past. And if it continues on the track that it's on right now, especially with our dwindling account, the number's only going to go lower. I mean, Cumberland County's, especially Port Norris area, is not as thriving right now, not like it has been.
So the other thing we're looking at doing, or not looking, we're doing it. We've broken down 3 different things that we think need to be done. Number 1 is try to find more funding for these transplants. Number 2 is find more money for Rutgers, because we think there's a big survey error, and they agree that there's a survey error, and the only way to do that is to do more grids. Each grid is 25 acres. They do 3 tows off of 25 acres to come up with how many oysters are on the bed. So the third thing is, and what we're doing is we're going to come around and go through the Board of Managers in Rutgers to try to find that money. And that's what we did last time. We started out at $95,000 back in 2006. 2009, we got 160. We went to 116,000. Today, we're only at 121,000, and that doesn't even meet what Rutgers is spending on this. So we're going to do that. The third thing is a tax incentive for any restaurant industry that creates shells. So the shells can be recycled and put back out in the bay. So DEP is on board with that. They have a program now running out of Atlantic City, and they've been expanding that over and over, but all those shells, they're doing all the casinos over there, majority. They stay over on the Atlantic coast. What we're looking to do is try to stop those shells from leaving Port Norris and going to Maryland, with a tax incentive that gives the shucking house money for each bushel that stays in the state. And each restaurant, that whether they be clam shells, scallop shells, oyster shells, or mussel shell, whatever it is, you're going to get a tax incentive based on that. And that's moving forward now. We've got a conceptual plan, and we're moving forward with that. And we have sponsors that are going to take that up once we get everything figured out. So we know that we were doing good, and I'll admit, and I've said it before, this is our fault. We weren't, I won't say we weren't watching the shop, but COVID hit us, everything went up, and we weren't just we weren't watching it enough. And we pretty much should have been on top of this way before this. I mean, we're now in our 3rd year of low quotas. But we have been slowly going back up. But The only way we're gonna get back up where we was is more money to plant shell and move more stuff down the bay from where the set is now at is up the bay, and we need to move that down the bay.
Director, if I may, have we questioned as to why state funding has been slowing up to Rutgers? Rutgers is a state organization. The question is, why is state funding slowing down just because it's down here, down south here? You know, there's got to be a reason. I mean, if it's a state university and it's run by the state, why all of a sudden is funding being shut down or slowed up here, where they got to beg for private funding? That's crazy. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Something we have to look into?
We have to look into that also. I think what has to be done, and I mean this sincerely, is a game plan has to be brought up. It's tough at the last minute when, we didn't know about Rutgers. We didn't know about Maryland. We didn't know about a lot of different things. I think what we got to do is do a game plan, okay, to sit down, find out what Maryland is doing that we're not doing. Why is Rutgers not being funded by the state, especially down here? I mean, it's got a big presence down here.
It does.
It's not something small. There's a lot of research going on down here. Why aren't they funding this? Okay, why are they begging other people to come in to help them out? That does not make any sense to me. And we pay enough taxes.
Right.
Believe me when I tell you. And I kind of joked about it that if the $2 were going up there, you get a response right away, wouldn't you, if you wanted to get 4?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, but it's not. It's staying here. So the point I'm getting at is that we got to get some answers. Is what we got to do.
You know, I spent 4 years on the State Board of Ag trying to bring this up through the state board, especially for aquaculture, which is pretty big, becoming bigger in the state and in the Delaware Bay. So I made some headway, but it's a 4-year term, and I wouldn't do it again.
Well, I'd like to commend you, and I'd like to thank you for coming out this evening. You know, I'd like to commend you on the fact that you realize you need to educate your politicians, and it seems like you're actively doing that. Not only is Senator Testa aware, but you've made Senator Bertuccelli aware of the situation. I believe you've either had a meeting or you're meeting with Bertuccelli's assembly people.
Last week.
So they have a lot of people that they're getting support, and we certainly support you.
Bertuccelli made the suggestion that maybe we need our own foundation, like the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. We need our own, maybe we need our own.
The other thing is, Bertuccelli's not a stupid person. Did you bring up Bertuccelli about the Rutgers problem with Rutgers?
Yep.
What was his statement about that?
He said, we need to get you more money.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they used to be a line item. We used to be a line item. Now they've done away with line items and everything's just in one big pot.
Hey, maybe you need a bridge to nowhere. Maybe not about that.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Appreciate
We
it.
appreciate your time.
Yep.
And,
If he can give us something, anything, and we can get half of that, we can get that from Cape May County also.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Don't leave without a contact so I can reach out.
I have all their numbers.
You have it? Okay,
Yep.
never mind. She has your numbers.
Thank you.
We'll try. Okay, good.
Okay, let's move on.
Do I have a motion and second to open public comment on resolutions only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any public comment this evening?
Is it only for resolutions, or can it be
This-
general public comment? Is there a time?
There's a second one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. No
A
motion?
motion to close since there's no one stepping forward.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any department head comments?
No one from the audience?
Resolution.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
We have somebody.
Good evening, I'm Melissa Niles, I'm the Department Head for Human Services. I just want to make everyone aware that May is Mental Health Month, April is Alcohol Awareness Month. So in April, we'll be giving out free drug and alcohol evaluations at First Step Clinic. And then for May, we're having our second annual You Are Not Alone, Let's Walk About It walk and activities at Anthony Campanella Park on Elmer Road in Vineland. And I sent it to my liaison, Mr. Romero, so hopefully you'll be able to come out and support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution?
Resolution 2026-152, resolution awarding contract for providing as needed welding and custom metal fabrication services for the County of Cumberland, bid number 26-03. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Sorrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-153, resolution authorizing award of contract to cooperative contract vendor for as-needed preventative maintenance and repair services of HVAC systems. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Sorrow. Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-154, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for providing an employee assistance program for the employees of Cumberland County. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Sorrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-155, resolution approving change order number 2 to contract for providing plumbing repair services for the County of Cumberland and the Cumberland County Cooperative Contract Purchasing System identifier number 181, CCPS, bid number 23-06, resubmission. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Sorrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-156, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for reacquisition of Clear and Proflex software subscription for the prosecutor's office. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Sorrow. Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-157, resolution amending Resolution 2025-109, authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for software support and maintenance services for Gov0S, County Fusion Software for the Cumberland County Clerk's Office. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Sorrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-158, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for purchase of 17,000 12x18 poly cotton U.S. mounted flags for Memorial Day. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Sorrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-159, resolution authorizing and approving additional temporary budget appropriations in the amount of $596,975. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Sorrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-160, resolution canceling portion of 2025 emergency appropriation authorized by Resolution 2025-742. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Sorrow. Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-161, resolution authorizing appropriation reserve transfer 2026-03. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Sorrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-162, resolution authorizing purchase from New Jersey State contract vendor for lease of one Kyocera Model TA MZ 401 CI copier for the Board of Elections. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Sorrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-163, resolution authorizing grant applications to the Delaware Watershed Conservation Fund. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved. Second?
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Sorrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-164, resolution appointing Kevin Smaniato as temporary chief financial officer for the county of Cumberland. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved. Second?
Commissioner Capizola.
There was a question, and how long did this go to? Just, I did miss that. How long are we approving him? Does it have an end date on it?
It is for 1 year, up to 1 year. And that was, the Department of Community Affairs, we spoke with them, several of us spoke with them multiple times, and they very strongly recommended it be for a year. They said they will reject anything shy of that.
Okay.
That we can cut it as short as we like, but they will not approve a resolution that is for less than a year.
And I did talk to the director about some like shared services. Has that conversation gone anywhere? Because I know that has gone places. Okay. All right, yes.
Commissioner Garcia Balicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Sorrow. Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
Consent agenda resolutions. 16601, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for annual maintenance with Eco Service in support of software for Genesis SQL40 time clock terminals. 16602, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for annual maintenance agreement and software license renewal for the Board of Elections. 16637, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for Celebrate Premium System for the Prosecutor's Office. 16649, resolution declaring 1 HP LaserJet Enterprise M602 printer and 10 Dell PCs as surplus and unneeded property and authorizing the equipment to be turned over to the CCIA as e-waste for recycling. 16653, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for annual support maintenance with civil service support for the Sheriff's Office. 16659, resolution canceling grant balances for the Middle Mile Grant Program. 16660, resolution canceling expired contracts for March 2026 covering materials, services, and supplies. 16661, resolution authorizing purchases from state contract vendors. 16581, resolution awarding a contract for implementing a comprehensive law enforcement assisted diversion program in Bridgeton, New Jersey for the County of Cumberland, RFP 26-02. 16675, resolution accepting grant award for the Southern Shore Regional Destination Marketing Organization for marketing programming. 16676, resolution amending resolution 2026-11, establishing the 2026 board and commission liaison memberships, Vocational School Board of Estimates. Any questions?
Not on them, may read the others or not?
No, they're all pending.
I still have to ask one question, though. If you don't mind, Director? Okay. You have, at least I read somewhere that, look, here it is, resolution 16627. It says here providing plumbing repair services for the County of Cumberland. We just voted on something like that. Is that something different? That's the question I have. In other words, we just got done voting on a plumbing contract for somebody, okay? And I've noticed that when I was reading these, we had it in a second time, so my question is it for a different reason?
That's a new bid going out.
What's a new bid going out? Then it's different than the repair work that we already had.
It is, the present contract is for existing in the year. This is the new RFP that's
Got it, okay. That's all I need.
I'm sorry,
All right, that's fine.
I didn't see it on my sheet.
It didn't, it just,
Okay.
it was a red flag I was trying to,
We
that's
put
all.
these in for
I
placeholders.
see.
We have, some of these bids won't be open until right before the 24th.
Okay, that's the only question I have.
Anything else? Okay, public comment on new business. Do I have a motion and second to open public comment on new business?
Motion to open public comment on new business only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi, good evening. My name is Zach Landesini. I'm a resident of Vineland, New Jersey. I'm just here tonight because, if possible, I would like to request an explanation of the selection criteria the board uses when selecting library commissioners. I think such an explanation would allow future applicants to strengthen their qualifications for future roles. And I believe it's important to have individuals serving in these positions that have a clear demonstrated appreciation and value for our public libraries. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Motion to close?
Second.
So moved.
All in favor?
Okay.
You got excited.
Remove that. Good. Aye.
So moved, say aye.
Kevin, would you like to answer that?
Yes, basically, the qualifications really are, it really boils down to submitting an application within the time frame when something does occur. I know Mr. Landesini did apply, it was near the end, I think we were already close to the process of voting at that point. But it really falls into the parameters of when there's an available opening, that would be available to be accepted. I wouldn't say that there are strict and stringent requirements for those positions. It's more a matter of interest that is derived from the public. That's where that comes from. And I would think that there are openings that are going to be coming down the pike, and I think you should interact directly with the department head Department Head Nicole Gardner. She'll tell you when it's open. And I would say you can't be too early. You can get in too late, but you can't really be in too early to get that in ahead of time. So when openings do occur, they're ready to roll, and they're in our system ready to go. I think that's much important.
And Mr. Landesini, I brought this up at our last meeting, those exact concerns that you just stated, and this helps us seeing your face with a name now. When it does come before us, we can all say, oh, I remember that young man, he came at the meeting, and that helps us, because sometimes, unfortunately, we get names, and some of us may not know who they are. This definitely will help us, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And we're always looking for volunteers for these boards, so please, don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a need for executive session?
There is a need for executive session. We'll be talking about litigation.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Resolution 2026-165, resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Senator Byron M. Baer Open Publics Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-12. Matters relating to collective bargaining agreements, matters relating to litigation negotiations and the attorney-client privilege, matters relating to the employment relationship. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Capizola.
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia-Bellicki.
Yes.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Sorrow. Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Taylor.
Yes.
And no action is planned on being taken after?
That's correct.
On the record?
Yes, there's no action anticipated.
Thank you.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.